Welcome back to this video, grade 12s. In today's video, we're going to take a look at question 6 of this question paper. It says in the diagram, we've got triangle ABC, and we can see that on the given diagram with vertices at point A, B, and C. And we can see that B is missing a value. And then they also tell us that BC has an angle of inclination, and it's given on the diagram. And then we also see theta, which is an obtuse angle. And it's also an angle of inclination that we might need to solve a bit later. So the first question is find the gradient of AC. So this is very doable. We do have the gradient formula on our formula sheet. So I'm just going to label it the gradient of AC. And then we know it is y minus y over x minus x. And then if we pop that into the calculator, just to make double sure, then we get the gradient of AC. And now the second question says, find theta. We know that's an angle of inclination, an obtuse one. And then determine the size of angle C. So we have to do two things over here. So the first thing we know about theta is that it's an angle of inclination of line AC. So when we want to solve this, we're going to say tan of the angle, which is theta in this case, must be equal to the gradient of AC. That means to get theta, we would do second function tan, but then we only use the positive fraction to get a reference angle. So when we type this into the calculator, we're going to get 54 degrees and a lot of decimals. And this now becomes our reference angle. So when we've got an obtuse angle of inclination, we got to get a reference angle using the positive gradient. And then we're going to say, well, then theta is actually 180 degrees minus this reference angle. And then when we type that into the calculator, we get theta as 125 and a lot of decimals. And then they want the angle of C. So if we go back to the diagram, we now have theta. We do have the 59,0362 degrees, and we can see that that is technically vertically opposite. So this angle inside of this triangle is a known side. Angle C is also an angle inside of this triangle that I've highlighted in blue, and that then makes theta the exterior angle. So we can actually just say that theta minus the 59,0362 degrees will give us C because of exterior angles of a triangle. So I'm just going to say, therefore, angle C would be theta's value minus that given value and this will give me angle C rounded off to 2 decimal places. And then I've used two reasons here. I've used that they are vertically opposite angles first, and then I used exterior angles of a triangle. And there we've got angle C. Now the next question asks us to determine M, the midpoint of AC. So we can use the midpoint formula that's also on our formula sheet. That's the one in coordinate form. They tell us that this is M, the name of the coordinate, and then it would be X plus X and Y plus Y of coordinates A and C on the diagram. And then we can simplify this either using mental math or we can use a calculator just to be safe because we don't want to make mistakes here. Then it now says determine the equation of the line perpendicular to AC. So that should already tell you something about the gradient. and passing through the midpoint of AC. That's the coordinate we just calculated. The other name for this line would be the perpendicular bisector, and then leave your answer in the form y equals mx plus c. So the first thing that I'm going to say is that the gradient of this line now becomes 5 over 7 because they are perpendicular lines, and that we know the gradient of the one line times the gradient of the second line should be -1. So far our equation is 5 over 7x plus c. It also tells us that it's going through the midpoint, which means I'm going to sub the x and the y values of the midpoint into the equation. And then I'm going to go to my calculator once to solve the c value. And once we type this into our calculator, then we're going to get the c value as 1 over 7, meaning our final equation is 5 over 7x plus 1 over 7. The next question says, show all your workings to determine the value of p. Now, if we remember correctly, p is the value, the y value of coordinate b. If we look at that line, we do have the full coordinate of c. We only have one variable, and we have the angle of inclination. So I'm going to use the angle of inclination formula or equation to make sure that I can solve P, or to check if I can. So I'm going to say the gradient of BC is equal to tan of the angle. But in this case, we have the angle value. Then on the left, I am going to do the gradient formula. And I'm going to substitute everything that I have on my diagram, or that I can see. So it would be y minus y over x minus x. On the next line, you can simplify, but I know that at the bottom, this is equal to 3. So technically on the left, I'm dividing by 3, which means on the right, I would want to multiply by 3. And then at the top there, that negative times the negative changes to a positive. So it's p plus 3, which means I'm also going to want to minus the 3 on the other side, leaving me with only p. And then when we pop this into the calculator, we would get that p is 2 units, sorry. Okay, so now we can put this in our diagram. P is 2 units. The last question says, if the value of P is 2, that's great. So we can go back and just double check that we got the correct answer. If we did not get 2 in the previous question, we can now look if we maybe made a mistake and fix it to make sure that we get all of those marks. Now they say determine B, the fourth point of the parallelogram ABCD, and then D lies in the third quadrant. So you can do this by inspecting. So they tell us that D lies in the third quadrant, which means it would have been somewhere over here. They tell us that it would then form a parallelogram, and we know that the opposite sides of a parallelogram are parallel. But we can't use gradient because we've got 2 variables that we're working with. So we can use the fact that the opposite sides are equal. So if we break up the distance formula into 2 separate calculations, we can get the distance or the shift in the x values, and then we can get the shift in the y values. So the first thing I'm looking at is the shift in the x values from B going down to C. It was minus 3 units. So if we go from A to D and we also minus 3 units, then we get a -5 for the x values. And then if we use the y values and check the shift there, we went from 2 to -3, so that's -5 units. So if we now take 4 and subtract 5 units, we will get to -1. So we call this inspection, or we do this by inspection method, and we can just write down that D would then be -5 and -1.